5 films. So I watched five films, guys, and the third week of February. Let's talk about those. The Fifth Element, guys. Another 5-star, personal favorite, all-time favorite. I remember watching this as a teenager, young kid. I must have been like 10 or so. And directed by Luc Besson. He did Leon the Professional, The Big Blue. Pretty big-time French director, guys. And, guys, you got a great cast. You got Bruce Willis, Jovovich, Gary Oldman, Ian Holm, Chris Tucker. Even Luke Perry's in there. Tommy Tiny, Tim Lister, R.I.P. Tricky, he's like a UK rapper. Matthew Kaslovich, he directed La Haine, I believe. And he's even in this. He's the guy that's, give me the gas! So he has a little cameo there. And, dude, an underrated guy is, what's his freaking name? Lee Evans. Lee Evans is so good as the bumbling, he's like not captain of the ship, but he's like one of the top crewmen. He is so nervous. He's a nervous wreck, but he's so good in this, man. Hell, he might be one of the best performances, honestly. But excellent sci-fi space action adventure, guys. The CGI, I think, holds up. Gary Oldman makes a great villain. I know his boss, who's technically the main villain, he's not really in it much, but it doesn't matter. Gary Oldman holds it down, guys. But the romance is a little forced. That's one thing I look at the other way, you know. Bruce Willis tries to sneak in a kiss in there and touch her inappropriately. It was kind of like, ugh. Didn't really like that, but it's just such a fun time, guys. I love Fifth Element. 5 stars out of 5. And whoever says Chris Tucker as Ruby Rod's annoying, whatever, dude. I don't agree. I thought he was fantastic. Prince was rumored to star, but yeah. Oh, by the way, dude, Luc Besson, he was dating, I think, the diva Plava Laguna, but then, like, I think he had an affair with her, with Jovovich. And, dude, Luc Besson, he likes, like, some young, I think he dated, like, a 16-year-old at one point and married her, like, when she was after 18. It kind of was weird, sick dude, so. But anyways, separate the art from the artist, man. There's tons of other people to like and support in this. So, second film, the third week of February. Infernal Affairs, guys. I did a podcast for it's 3 Real Cinema. It's me and my 2 friends here where I live. We started an Instagram and YouTube channel, and I watched this to rewatch it for the podcast. So. The Jacked Up podcast, that's what it was. Hopefully he posts it soon, but here we go, man. So this has got to be on everybody's top 5 Hong Kong movies list, guys. Huge box office hit in Hong Kong. It was so big that this is what The Departed is based off of, guys. And I feel like they darn near ripped it off because nobody gives them credit. Like at the Oscars, they announced best screenplay, and the announcer was like, "This was based off a film from Japan." Like total disrespect, man. I think Infernal Affairs is superior to The Departed. The Departed feels a little too Hollywooded down with the violence and so many curse words. Infernal Affairs, there's none of that. You know, there's only one action scene in Infernal Affairs, guys. Isn't that amazing? Super tense cat and mouse game, guys. So, Tony Leung, Andy Lau, 2 of the biggest stars in Hong Kong cinema. And Andy Lau's also a Cantopop singer star, guys, so even bigger star power there. Eric Tsang as the main villain. Anthony Wong. 2 other big, huge Hong Kong actors, but more in supporting roles. They're excellent. Also Kelly Chin, Sammy Chang are in this. Chapman Toe, man, he's really, he adds a little bit of comedic relief. And he's the guy that says in this movie, he's like, you see, they're not looking at us, they're a cop, you know. You know, they say that line in The Departed. They say a bunch of stuff that they kind of just grip right out of this movie. Which, because it's kind of a remake in a way, just in Boston. But guys, police procedural, undercover cops, triads. You know, it's so crazy. These two guys trying to find out who's the mole, and it's super entertaining, guys. 4.5 stars out of 5 for Infernal Affairs. Hard to Kill. Guys, I like B action movie cheese. I don't like Seagal as a person, but he does have some bangers in the late 80s, early 90s. But man, 1.5 stars, guys. This is where my hatred for Seagal just came out. And he's such an unlikable guy. Off camera, he's an unlikable guy in this. The Kelly LeBrock, the female love interest, just falls on her. She throws the panties off for this guy, and he's such an idiot. He's such a douchebag. I couldn't stand it. Like, he's showing her some, like, Chinese calligraphy and how much he knows. And, like, a saxophone comes in because Kelly LeBrock is so, like, she just can't, oh, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so wet right now. I just found it ridiculous. And, guys, the martial arts, to me, if you can call it that, the brawling, the action, the gunfights, they just were not very good to me. I had to give it 1.5 stars out of 5. William Sadler as Senator Trent, he says, like, take that to the bank. He says it like 5 or 6 times. And, you know, Seagal hears it on TV all the time, and at, like, the middle end, he's like, I'm going to take you to the bank, Senator Trent, to the blood bank. And it's like the movie was working so hard up to that moment for that one-liner, so you're like, whoa, bro, yeah, Seagal, get him. But nah, dude, I'm sorry, I was not feeling this movie. 1.5 stars for Hard to Kill. Valhalla Rising. This is we stand Mads Mikkelsen on this channel. Hopefully I said that right. Directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. I like how he's in the Kojima video game Death Stranding. But man, this is a kind of a slow burning, slow moving film, and the director lets you know that off the bat. He welcomes you in to take in the scenery, to relax, and he kind of shocks you with the spurts of violence in between. It's very brutal, man. There's definitely brutal bits of violence, but one reason I hated the Terrifier 3 I recently watched, those kills go on for minutes on end, guys. And I hate that stuff, man. I don't like gore, torture porn. Here, the violence is pretty swift. It's quick. Shocking, yes, but quick. And it's not to, you know, not for porn, you know. So, I don't know many of the other actors, but I want to shout out the cinematographer by Morten Soberg and the directing work from Nicholas Winding Refn, man. I think they shot this, it's a Nordic film, Scandinavian setting, but they shot it in Scotland. Man, they make the mountains, the grass, the clouds, the sun. They make all of it look great, man. And it kind of looks like you're in a Death Stranding video game. So it's kind of funny. Kojima probably saw this movie and wanted to talk to this guy. But yeah, man, pretty good. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 for Valhalla Rising. Check it out. Scarface. Haven't seen this in about 10 years, so I tried to watch this 2 years ago with my girlfriend, but she was like, I do not want to watch this. That's one film, guys, I can't get the girlfriend to watch. She thinks it's so bro, macho, she can't do it. So, but hey, man, 4.5 stars out of 5. This is excessive to the max, guys. Very, very excessive. Al Pacino, I know the movie gets hate for not having any Cubans in it. I think Stephen Bauer is the only Cuban, but would you rather have a Cuban actor, guys, or Al Pacino? Like, okay, how can I say this? Like, would you rather like put a Cuban actor that's gonna do a bad job, who's not up to the task, or would you put Al Pacino in unhinged Pacino and a star making, or he does a fantastic job. So it's like, if you're gonna make a great movie, a great cast, then just do it, okay? So it doesn't bother me that they didn't use a lot of Cuban actors, okay? If you're gonna make a good movie, just do it. So, and it's a critique on capitalism, guys, and you know, he says it in the movie. He's like, you know what capitalism is? Getting fucked. And what does Al Pacino? What does Tony Montana do, guys? He starts out as a dishwasher, man. He's like, my onions, man. Look how hard I have to work just to get by. And they're working in that little coffee shop kitchen, and they're staring at the American dream. There's a club across the street, and they do a low-level drug deal, and he gets a little money. He meets Frank, and then it shows him in the club before the hits put out on him. He's so depressed. What do you got to do? You need more in America. You can't stop. You got to take. So although he's already getting hundreds of thousands, probably millions, before, spoilers, Tony kills Frank. Because, you just got to have more, guys. What does he do? He kills Frank. He's rising to the top. He wants more and more, and that's where the drugs kick in. He starts consuming drugs, man, and he can't stop. He has to keep consuming, because that's what capitalism is, man. And what does he end up doing? He kills himself. He kills his friends, those that are close to him. Destroys his life, family. Oh, poor Gina, man. That made me sad when Monolito, he died, man. Same with Gina. But I think Scarface is just off the chains, man. 4.5 stars out of 5. So there you go. Third week of February, guys. Wrapped. Bam. And also Scarface, guys. One of the most quotable movies ever, right? I still quote this with with all the few friends I have now that I'm in my 30s. But yeah, great quotable movie, man. So there's the third week of February, guys.